So I was really unsure whether to share this story with you. Now, this particular member posted this in the Facebook VIP group last night. And he shared it for everyone to see, everyone to comment as well. So I thought I would also share it with you lot as well that watch these videos. Now, I'll just quickly read it to you now. Booked up some cruise holidays today, Greek islands in August, then a bucket list trip to America, Mexico and Cuba. Also Asia, including Japan for 3 weeks. All costing around 38 grand, but traveling in state rooms. All thanks to the BD FOREX trading platform and my very own strategy. Waiting to hear back from about a 33-day cruise to Scandinavia, the Baltic states and Russia going in 5 weeks. I have come to my senses and realised that my battle is time. Cancer will win the war, but time is what I crave. Peace and love to all of you, and a special thanks to Craig for just being there and caring. Now, the reason why I wanted to share with you is just to motivate you, really. Everyone has their own struggles and battles in life, and this particular member hasn't given up. Okay, he's stuck at what he believes in, and obviously that's for him's trading, and now he's gone out to use his trading profits to enjoy life. Now, this isn't something to show off, far from it. Okay, I really wasn't sure whether to share this story with you, but hopefully there's some people out there that have their own little battles, have their own struggles in life, and hopefully this will motivate you to kind of keep your head up and just focus on what you believe in. So yeah, that's a success story from a BD member. And yeah, hopefully very soon I'm going to be meeting this particular member. I'm going to be giving him his own BD hoodie, and hopefully I can actually get him on a camera, and we can he will let, hopefully I can let him share his story with us on a camera, so we can all kind of document it and follow along. So this is literally why you need to trade the 1 hour time frame. So we had our weekly webinar yesterday. Every single week we have a webinar with the BD members going over setups, potential setups, doing some training, ask any questions people have kind of live in front of the charts. And me and Mark hosted the webinar. If you don't know who Mark is, well, you should know, because if you're a BD member, you'll definitely know who Mark is. He's, I'm sure you've seen some YouTube videos where I've talked about a BD member doing like 100 grand a week, 500 grand a month. That's Mark. Now, me and him hosted a webinar yesterday talking about potential setups on the 1 hour charts, and we went over these with the BD members. Now, I've been trading the binary destroyer a lot recently on the 1 hour time frame. The reason being is because I'm fully booked at the minute with one-on-one webinars up until the end of June. So I'm struggling to kind of sit down and spend 3 or 4 hours a day trading. So the way I kind of compensate that is I trade the higher time frame. Now, when you trade the higher time frame, I don't need to spend a lot of time on the charts, because, for instance, every single candlestick represents 1 hour. So I can see setups happening before they actually happen. So I can look at a certain currency pair and go, okay, I might get a setup on this currency pair in a couple of hours time. So I can kind of plan 10 or 20 minutes in a couple of hours time to look at each setup. So yeah, I spend a lot less time on the charts. I can capture every single setup and I can get some good pips. Now, what also I love about the 1 hour time frame is I can do this with the BD members. I can be a lot more open. I can show you the before and after setups. I can show you where my stop loss is, take profit is, and everything like this. Now look at yesterday's webinar, okay? If you're a BD member, you would have known this, okay? But just have a listen to yesterday's webinar. So then look at the setup, use my experience from support and resistance, look at the rejection wicks as well. If we just zoom in here, you can see how price is starting to slow down. Okay, it's almost starting to do like a curve effect here, right? See that? Right, look at the wicks on top. See that? Okay. Now, like I said, I'm not going to just sell here. look for really that MACD start to cross over. Potentially a BD arrow would be even better. Okay, and then we'll see what. So basically, me and Mark called two setups in the webinar yesterday. Okay, a sell on NZJPY and I think a sell on NZUSD. Look at this, right? This was last night, a sell on NZJPY. Look at it here. Look at that. Okay. Honestly, like if you were in the webinar, awesome, you would have caught some good pips. But this is exactly what I want BD members to do. Get involved, share setups, share ideas. Let's bounce setups together. This is it, right? I can be a lot more open now because I can trade the 1 hour charts, okay? Which means I can say, hey guys, look, potential setup happening, NZJPY, have a look at it, right? And another thing I want to explain to people is keep trading bloody simple, right? This is the 1 hour, the 4 hour charts. Look at the 4 hour charts. Look at this. Me and Mark both called this setup, okay? Because it's absolutely beautiful setup, right? So you can see here, rejection, rejection. So a nice 4 hour resistance area at this level. In fact, you might be able to see it on the daily as well. Okay, you can. Okay, let me just bring this down like this. You can't see, in fact, I've drawn that ever so just slightly wrong. Let me just do it again like this. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, look at this. The daily resistance. Bounce, 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 bounce. Okay, daily resistance. 1 hour charts. I've seen this happening. What actually happens? Look, BD price came straight up to this resistance area. This is the 1 hour charts. We popped a Mogwai arrow, MACD goes overbought, and literally price just melted at this level. Literally. This was last night's webinar. Look, and I said this is going to happen, right? Look at the MACD. Once you trade the binary destroyer and you trade it over and over and over and over and over again, eventually it will just sink in. Okay, the more simpler you make your trading, the more easy it becomes, the more rewarding, the more enjoyable it is. Okay, if you constantly chop and change and you want to add this and change that, forget it, right? Look at this setup. I seen it happening a few hours before it actually happened, and there was the drop. Another one, NZUSD. Again, same concept, right? Again, I called this, well, me and Mark called this in the on the webinar. Look at this, right? Look at that nice resistance area here. Bounce, 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 bounce. Price comes back up to this level here. MACD goes overbought. Price drops. Simple. We also called another buy on GPUSD, which was here. Okay. Now, we actually called this one, but both me and Mark said that we wouldn't take this trade because we thought it would go a little bit lower. Okay. We thought price would go a little bit lower, okay, because we've got this nice bit of resistance literally just here. See that? And we actually thought price would go a little bit lower here. Even though we didn't take this trade, it was still a nice winner, okay? Can you see what's happening, right? We're starting to see setups before they're happening. Let's go over last week's trades. I took 3 trades in last week. So I took 3 trades last week on 2 setups. I made a video on every single one of them. I did a before and after shot. Okay, so the first one is, okay, GPUSD. You can see here, GPUSD, I took a nice little sell here, right? MACD gone overbought. We popped a Mogwai arrow, nice bit of resistance. See that? Touch, 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 right? 1 hour time frame. Let's actually have a look at that setup now, okay? So this is that setup here, right? Zoom in here. Now this trade, okay, stopped me out. So you can see here that initial trade here, good trade, okay, still actually a really good trade. What actually happened with this trade was this trade literally, I don't know if you can see that, I got stopped out. I'll zoom in here, right? I got literally, where is it? Here. I got literally stopped out by that little wick there, that little bugger there. Now what actually happened was stopped me out, price dropped. Now, when I seen this, it doesn't mean that it was a bad trade. I lost the trade. Okay, I lost the trade. Let's actually have a look at the setup. Is it still a good setup? Was it a bad setup? I looked at the setup and I thought, great, possible re-entry on this one. Why did I think a possible re-entry? Because let me just zoom in like this here. Okay, and we had a nice bit of divergence on the MACD. See that? Momentum goes lower. We formed a double top pattern. See that? Double top pattern. Momentum goes lower like this. So I re-entered again on this trade and I covered my loss. You can see here. Okay, nice little double top pattern. I lost my first trade. I re-entered again on this engulfing candle and made some nice little pips. That is it, right? Keep trading simple. My last trade was USD/JPY. Again, look at USD/JPY. Look at the MACD. MACD's gone overbought. Okay, we popped a Mogwai arrow. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that here? Okay, we popped a Mogwai arrow at a nice 4-hour resistance. See that? Let's have a look at the setup again on this one. So USD/JPY. Look at the setup here. Oh, hold on. USD/JPY. Okay, here we go. Look at the setup here. Okay, I'll draw it again for you. Right, there we go. So we've got our 4-hour resistance here. You don't need to go on to different time frames. You can see the resistance here. Touch, touch. Again, price comes back up. MACD gone overbought. We popped a Mogwai arrow. You maybe entered somewhere on this thing. I mean, I can't remember exactly where I entered because this trade was last week. Stop loss 30 pips. This trade's still going. 45 pips. Right? That is it. Right? 2 bits of advice I want you to take from this webinar, or 3. First of all, get involved with the training. Get involved with the one-on-one webinars. Get involved with the weekly webinars. You're going to take a lot of learning, a lot of experience from it. Okay, you can always ask questions in front of the charts. Secondly, keep trading simple. Literally, the more simpler your trading is, the more rewarding it is. Now, what I was going to say, actually teaching people to trade is quite easy. Okay, entering the market is quite easy to teach because you can do it in a step-by-step guide. So you can say MACD overbought or sold, yes. Mogwai arrow, yes. Support and resistance, yes. Things to look for, the TCA line. Is it with the trend? Is it against the trend? Look at candlestick patterns. You can teach that in a step-by-step process, right? But what you can't teach is being able to handle the wins, being able to handle the losses, what to do in situations where price is going sideways or price is going against me or price is going in my favor. The only way you're going to build up that experience is by repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And eventually it will sink in. And I'm starting to think now, if you switch over to the higher time frames, it's going to make your trading a lot more easier because you're able to share setups with other BD members and myself. Hey Jamie, possible sell happening on USD/JPY. Have a quick look at it. Yeah. Whatever, Simon, great setup. Let's look at it. Let's enter again. Okay, let's look at different factors. That is how you keep it simple. That's the binary destroyer on the 1-hour chart. So yes, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, drop me an email, thebinarydestroyer@gmail.com.